YouTube, what it is, man. Y'all already see the screen. Know what I mean? So you know what we about to get into. About to get into this interview with Supa Head, Tyra Banks, and the Confessions of a Video Vixen, the book that she wrote. And we just gonna talk about that for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I really believe in society and relationships and so forth. We got these issues with these women thinking that they have no shame after they get a crazy high body count. I mean, and we can't blame them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I want to say per se, you know what I mean? Like, black women be really going hard with this shit. You know what I'm saying? White women also, you know what I mean? But it's just crazy how black people is catching the detriment of most of this. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't got no real family structure no more. We don't got none of that going on. You know what I'm saying? The system is like, the way that, not the system itself, but the wave of the internet and all that. It's just like, yo, I did what y'all want. Now we can do what we want. But I think it's just crazy because if DNA test wasn't involved in all of that, this is just like God showed you, women is not supposed to sleep with multiple men, even at the same time or period, because you can't tell who baby is who if you sleeping with three men and you get pregnant. That's number one. You know what I'm saying? And number two is just like, yo, it's like I see you as a vessel, and you keep letting multiple men dump juices in your vessel. I mean, that's crazy to me. You know what I mean? Spiritual wise, everybody you lay down with, you get up with. You know what I'm saying? But it's like SWAT TV, man. Hit the like button, the share button, subscribe button. You already know, man. Let's get into this, man. Cause she said Tyra Banks try to shame her. You know what I mean? But let's listen to it.
On all major markets, but honestly, that part was a surprise to me. And I didn't know that. All I knew was that I had to tell the stories that were relevant to my life, and everyone is named. And it's funny to me how everyone is so concerned about naming the celebrities, but no one is concerned about me naming the man that raped me when I was 13 and how his life is going to be now. You know what I mean? And so it just shows me that we're in a celebrity hypnotized society.
But you were hypnotized by the celebrity
Exactly,
at once,
which
so
is the
you can
whole point of
understand
the
why
book.
people are so into
Exactly,
it.
which is what's so ironic and
Yep.
so wonderful, because that's the point of the book. You know, just being hypnotized by that and just really wanting a place to belong and needing a family, needing love, and thinking sex and love are equated. And that's why there's a lot of sex in the book. And each time I have sex with someone, you'll read in the book where I say, I just loved him.
Why do you say that? Because I noticed that. I noticed that you would have sex with this guy and you said that you loved him.
Yeah,
What was that
exactly.
emotion that you were feeling, and why would you say something
Exactly,
like that?
because in my head I did. Because
Even when, because in the book she says that she'd have sex with somebody and then they'd get up and then they'd leave, or they'd tell you to leave. So how could you equate that with love?
I was never told to leave. I just think that, I spent years with people. There's hardly anyone, there's a few, maybe one or two in there where it was uncomfortable and we separated. Jay-Z was like that, Dr. Dre was
Y'all gotta pause it for a minute, right? So she made it seem like she was in a relationship with these people, right? Earlier in the interview. How could you be in a relationship with somebody, but after you have an encounter, they're telling you gotta get out? You know why? Because she was a pardon me, a high paid prostitute. You know what I mean? That's all it was for real. You know what I mean? When you lay down with somebody, they gave you a bag. You know what I'm saying? You got the bag. And then our encounter is over. It's time for you to go home. You feel me? Like, wherever you go, don't try to talk about one or two of them in there was like that. Shaq was trying to save you. Jay-Z was trying to save you. Vin Diesel was trying to save you. Ja Rule was trying to save you. We go on and on. None of these people was trying to save you, bro. You are known in that circle for having Supa Head. That's why they was calling you. Stop playing, bro.
that, where you just know you're better off being acquaintances and not lovers, and you stay friends afterwards. There are people in there that I stayed with for years, just off and on. But everyone would have to go. No one lived where I lived. They had lives other places. And
Cat.
so,
Have you upset people from writing this book?
I haven't heard anything from anyone. The people that are most upset will be my mother and my ex. because they were the most brutal to me. And I was honest about that. Brutality, and that upsets them.
So these
Celebrities are fine.
rappers aren't upset that you wrote about them?
No, they're fine because there are so many things that I left out. The things that I got a lot of calls.
So if you ran into Usher or you ran into Jay-Z or you ran into, they're like, hey, Corinne, it's cool?
Well, we
can
haven't been
imagine that.
cool for years. You know what I mean? So it's not like I've had friendships all this time. These are people that I haven't spoken to, with the exception of Usher, who I haven't spoken to in years. And so when we do see each other, and we do, Four Seasons brunch, and you just kind of pass each other, and you do one of these, and you just keep going.
Because I'll admit, if somebody wrote something about me in a book, I'd be pissed off.
Yeah, people wrote things about me in songs. So I've been pissed off before. I've been written about in magazines, you know, that were lies. And I've been pissed off before, too. You know, so I know how it feels. But the difference is that the things that were written about me weren't the truth. And this is the truth. And I tell them, as I tell everyone, if your name is in this book and you see something that you don't like, then you shouldn't have done it.
So do you think that you wrote this book because of revenge, out of revenge?
No, see, revenge is something that happens when people are miserable and upset and
So weren't
bitter.
you miserable and upset
Not when
and
I wrote
bitter?
this book. Not when I wrote this book.
Corinne, I
wrote
have
this
to
book-
disagree with you because when I read the book, you were saying that you're really upset that, you know, that you were down and out, that these were the guys that you would go out with and wine and dine and spend a lot of money and hang out.
Yeah.
And then you had
But
your
I
rock
still have
bottom.
that lifestyle now.
No,
The
but I'm
lifestyle
saying,
hasn't
but you hit,
changed.
but I'm talking about your rock bottom, and you hit a rock bottom where you were homeless,
Yeah.
living in the car with your son,
Absolutely.
freezing to death, and
Absolutely.
using jackets to stay
But
warm.
all of that was my fault.
No, but
That
I'm saying,
wasn't their
but what I'm
fault.
saying is you called these guys and said, I need some help.
Yeah.
And
And
none
they
of them
said
helped
no.
you.
None of them helped
you.
me. The same man who wrote me a $10,000 check on our first date wouldn't help me. Everything that happened to me was my fault. I did it to myself.
But
I
then why
allowed-
Well, at least you know how to take fault somewhat. I mean, that's cap, but that's what I'm trying to show you. She was a paid proxy. You feel me? High paid proxy. Understand me? Because if you in your car sleeping with your son, freezing, and you call one of these people, even that, like any chick right now, bro, literally, if you and your ex-boyfriend broke up on good terms, y'all wasn't no big, you know what I'm saying? And you call and be like, yo, bro, I'm homeless. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucked up. Ooh, boop, boop, Can you please help me out in this situation? Right away, they're going to be like, yo, what you need, bro? Because the love is still there. You feel me? Nobody loved this chick. Like I said, bro, you know what I mean? They call you, whoop, whoop, whoop. They wasn't even on that type of time. They didn't even care. They're like, what are you calling me for? Like, could you imagine her calling you while you laying down with your wifey? Like, what? Or your new chick or whatever? And you like, this chick bugging. Like, yo, what's she doing? I call you. You don't call me. That's not how this arrangement works. You feel me, bro? Like, come on, man. Get in the comments, man. Let me know, man, if I'm tripping.
If there's no anger, why name the names?
Why not? It's just the truth. And so now that I've healed, it feels right to say, you know what? Let's not give this a pretty name anymore. Let's not say I was hanging out. Let's not say I wasn't. I was prostituting myself and selling myself for a lot less than I'm actually worth. You know,
Well, we're going to talk about that some more.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to hear from you guys out there because I know you're going, Tyra, say this. Tyra, ask her that. So we're going to hear from you guys. We're going to give some questions to Corinne, and we'll be back when we return. Not. Now, this book is a cautionary tale. Who is this a cautionary tale to?
well, what's happening is that a lot of women have unrealistic views of this part of the industry. You have a lot of young girls who want to, at a very early age, just be video girls, and they think that that's modeling. I get emails on my website, which I have been getting for over the last 2 years, of people asking me, how do they get into this? I want to be a model, so how do I get into the next Yin Yang video? Or, you know, and I have to explain them that's not modeling, and I've never been a model, and that's not what it is, and that's not how it happens. They're actually changing their minds about what they thought the industry was like.
Tyra gonna check
thinking
ass.
that nothing
Watch
bad
this.
ever happens, and life is essentially like a video, and it's just not.
Well, it depends on the choices that you make.
You
But it
see?
depends on the choices that you make.
Yeah.
But a lot of us,
how she
unfortunately,
caught her
are
ass?
being ill-informed. A lot of us are just aren't being told. You know, I wish that I had, you know, people around me. I wish that I had a family base. A lot of women do have, and they have a family, and they have friends, and they have people who care, and they're educated better than I was. But many women and young girls aren't as educated as we
It's a
should be.
scapegoat.
Well, I
Because
want
they
to take
got
some
people like
questions from
you.
the audience.
I'd like to know, based on the subject matter and the content of the book, why would you dedicate a book like this to your son?
Because this is my life story, and this is a subject matter not just of my book, but of my life. And my son went through a lot of this.
Yo, son. So her son is a grown man now, which is Cool G Rap's son, right? You done put in the book that that his daddy basically taught his moms how to choke on, okay? Because that's what she put in the book. You understand me? Cool G Rap is the one that taught her how to give good brain. You feel me? He used to beat her up, slap her up, you know what I'm saying, and abuse her, allegedly, you know what I'm saying, and make her do these things. So now you dedicated that book to your son. Of all the dudes you ran through, all the celebrities, so forth and so forth, are you a junkie or something? What's wrong with you, bro? You couldn't write a book that was more about your life and not the sexual activity and dedicate that to him? You have to dedicate the garbage to him, bro? It's like the mind frame, bro. It's just Supa Head is wild, bro. She's a crazy woman, bro. She intelligent too. Could you imagine a woman that's intelligent? She got looks and all that, and was on you to book you, and her sexuality game is like on 1,000, bro. You finished. You are finished, bro. You know how much men she probably tore out that. Come on, bro. No homo, huh? Got these niggas just sending, and sending. Hmm? It's real, bro. I'm saying that if you have she act like she's stupid. Man, she not stupid. She intelligent. She know what she was doing. By naming all these people in this book, yeah, because you know you're gonna be the bestseller, Time magazine, all that. You ain't crazy. You wanted the clout.
Me. When I slept in the car, he was the only person in the car with me.
But you put your son, and you dedicated your book to the son, which means it opens it up to his school because his name is in the book.
His first
Yeah,
name's in
all
the
his
book. A lot of
friends,
children
everybody
are NIA.
reading that.
Yeah, but you pick him up at school, and you look just like this.
Okay,
So
and all the
that's
girls
Crazy.
that know me, I'm in the PTA.
She in the PTA. They
I
shouldn't put you
feel
in the
that
PTA.
people expect me to be ashamed. And all my life, I've been expected to be ashamed of who I am. And I'm not. And I think that it bothers a lot of people that I'm not ashamed. And a lot of us spend our lives being ashamed of who we are and what we've done and are afraid to share that with our
It doesn't
children.
bother me that you're not ashamed. I admire the fact that you're
It
not
bothered
ashamed.
me that she
I
ain't
think what
ashamed.
bothers me is
Listen, Remy said the same thing. Remy said, y'all act like I'm supposed to be ashamed of something. Hmm? It's the, what's her name? Corinne Steffens. She the Supa Head. I just know her as Supa Head. I don't even try to pronounce her real name. You know what I mean? But Supa Head feels the same way. Would you expect me to be ashamed? Yes. What are you talking about? Yes. You run around, you got to after you done slept with athletes, I'm sure executives, whoever, actors, rappers, and some regular dudes on the side that you felt. After all that, you was in the car, homeless with your son? That's crazy. So you're jeopardizing your integrity, your dignity, your pride, your whole family, the way they look at you, you know what I'm saying? And the way society look at you, to sell your body and don't make it count for nothing? You still homeless? That's crazy to me, bro. The book, that's why, that's the tactic. She did all that. She realized it and out of nowhere. So she like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna write this book and I'm gonna get my bread off that. And whatever mistakes I didn't make saving my money, I'm gonna make sure I capitalize on it now. But is it doing more good than hurt? Because that book run with you for the rest of your life, your son, and you dedicated that to him, boy. That's crazy to me, bro. That's just wow. It's crazy work.
I think you are a very smart woman. You're very articulate, and I think you do know exactly what you did. And you knew that naming names would be the thing that makes the press, because you were attracted to that. You're attracted to names, you're attracted to celebrity, and I think you do understand that naming these names means that, you know, this is going to get attention.
Okay.
And I want you to be honest and sit here and be honest with me.
Well, you know what? I just wrote the book, and my publisher made that decision. Initially, the book had no names in it, and there are a lot of things that have been taken out.
But the publisher can only make the decision
The publisher
of what
made
you
the
agree with.
decision, and I agreed with it because I felt that it was the truth, and it was actual. I didn't hide anything in
You
that
just said
book.
you hid a lot.
Well, I mean, of all the things that were written, I didn't hide names and places and dates to protect people. This isn't a book about protection. It's a book about honesty and confessions, both on my side and hopefully on theirs.
How mad
How?
were you at those rappers that didn't support
They
you?
didn't
Not
get
mad
the
at all,
reply.
because I went back to them. It wasn't like they said no to me and then I was like, oh, that's it, I'm out of here, I'm gonna write a book. It was okay. I went back, they gave me more money, I hung out, I still took the trips, I still did all of that. And then I left because I knew.
Not every single one of these guys.
every single one of
Not
these guys
every
what?
single one. You didn't go back to every single one of them.
Well, the ones that had the most money, the ones that were flying me around, because I was homeless at the time. I was homeless.
Didn't I say she was a high-paid prostitute? You heard what she said? I went back to the ones that had the most fetty. Stop playing around, bro. What we talking about here? Huh? You going back to the ones that got the most fetty. Let's be for real, son. Like, it's crazy. Like, no shame in her game, though. Remember that.
At the time, and I had to find a way to get back on my feet. So in the back of my head, I know, okay, you don't care about me.
Let me pause for a minute. All the young ladies, I don't got too much young lady subscribers or whatever. But, you know what I mean? I got a lot of male subscribers, you know what I mean? Send this to your sisters, your aunties, whoever. You feel me? Like, the aunties, send it more to your sisters, your younger cousins, whatever, whoop, whoop, whoop. Aunties don't live their life or whatever, you know what I mean? So, but the young ones, bro, put it in their head, bro, that this is what you look like after you run up a body count, after your reputation is in the dirt. This what you look like. Huh? Even with money, she's still shamed. Imagine having no money. And you from an area and everybody know you done been ran through. Come on, bro. Like, it's crazy, bro.
When I told you I was getting evicted, you said whatever. So now I said, hey, everything's fine. Oh yeah, that was just, that was a bad week. I'm fine now. Okay, here you go, more money. I knew that if I wasn't the party girl anymore, then they wouldn't take care of me.
Corinne Steffens, thank you for being here. And thank you for being honest.
Look at her
You're dying
face.
inside, aren't you? I haven't been the hardest on you. I've seen your interviews, and there have been people that are super duper duper hard on you.
Maybe
This
I
was
just-
actually a walk in the park.
Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it today.
Let me slide this
I'm
real
moody.
quick.
You're
'cause
moody?
We got to
Yeah.
get back
Well, you
to
came
that.
on,
Hold up,
and
look.
hopefully you're on you.
Maybe
This
I
was
just-
actually a walk in the park.
Maybe I just wasn't in the mood
She is
to take
hot.
care of me.
Corinne Steffens, thank you for being here. And thank you for being honest. You're dying inside, aren't you? I haven't been the hardest on you. I've seen your interviews, and there have been people that are super duper duper hard on you.
Maybe
This
I
was
just-
actually a walk in the park.
Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it today.
That's the shame.
I'm moody.
You're moody?
That's the shame, y'all. You heard? That is the shame right there, bro. You understand me? The fact that she is so mad, you dig? And she talking about, oh, I ain't got no shame, this, and that. You see how her face look? When she couldn't get her, it's like I couldn't get my point across. She made me look so bad. You know what I mean? She made me show the people who I really am. You know what I mean? You can't hide it, bro. It's pouring through your skin, shorty. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tyra for exposing that. And I see she came out with another video talking about Tyra. Who, you? Who, you? Yeah. Anybody. You know what I'm saying? Could come down and run down on you. Your reputation's so bad. You know what I'm saying? You know how they say other people always shame people that's worse than them to make themselves look good? You would have a line out the door. You understand me? When it comes to you, bro. Because it's just crazy. Your work is just, it's nasty, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want none of the young ladies, bro. You know what I mean? To end up like this, man. Go get you a nice husband, respectable man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got to be no thug and all that. As long as he can defend himself and defend his family. That's what you looking for, man. And he can feed his family, bro. Hard worker. Shit like that. Stop worrying about the hype, man. You know what I mean? It's like SWAT TV, man. You already know, man. Hit the like, subscribe button, and all that good stuff.